Plus, escalating violence in Côte d'Ivoire puts it back in the UN sights. And Egypt moves a step closer to forming a government with the appointment of a new prime minister. We begin in Libya, where it's a little after 6 a.m. and forces loyal to Muammar Gaddafi have tried again to retake lost territory. On Thursday, there were more airstrikes in the oil-rich area of Brega, but they failed to dislodge the opposition fighters who control it. Now, this comes as tens of thousands of people try to escape the unrest. Our correspondent Tony Bertley sent us this report from Benghazi.
A few possessions in their bags and the clothes on their backs. Migrant workers in Libya on the move, looking to escape somebody else's conflict. These feel destitute and abandoned. The lucrative jobs in an oil-rich country lost in the uprising. At the docks in Benghazi Thursday, yet another boat stands by to collect its human cargo. This time, 600 Syrians board the Captain Abdullah. But in recent days, vessels from China, Vietnam and Europe have come to collect its nationals.
أكيد شعور جميل يعني حدا ماشي على بلده بيكون شعوره جميل شعور جميل.
We've been here for 3 days, he says. It feels very good to go. At the peak, up to 10 boats a day were setting sail from here, with migrants desperate to flee the danger. More than 30,000 migrant workers have left from this port in the last week. The exodus is slowing, but still they're coming. Countries from all over the world have remembered their nationals, but there are a few, that have been forgotten. In a camp the other side of the harbour, the foreign workers who can't get out, either because they have no money or their governments don't care.
Many country people here, Indian, China, Turkey, but all people go back. But our Prime Minister is no helping.
They survive because of handouts and donations from Libyans, but it's a basic existence. The problems for these men are compounded by the fact they haven't been paid by their company, and that's hurting their families back home.
In some cases, literally dropped everything, including their documents in some cases. So they're travelling home empty-handed. Many through remittances are supporting quite sizable families back home. And so it's going to have a huge knock-on effect.
There are more than 2,500 migrant workers here and another 1,000 in nearby camps, but that's what they know. It's estimated that the figure is much higher, perhaps by 3 or 4 times. Many workers, especially those from Africa, feel frightened.
Some of us, we are surviving. Some of us, we are dead now. Right now, we are looking for the solution.
That solution is being provided by international organisations now arriving in Benghazi. Most in this camp will be repatriated in the coming days or weeks, but there are still pockets of Indians, Filipinos and Africans unaccounted for. And for now, there is nothing to do but wait and hope the violence doesn't return. Tony Bertley, AlJazeera, Benghazi.
The International Criminal Court says it will investigate the Libyan leader and his inner circle for possible crimes against humanity. Our correspondent Alan Fisher has been speaking to the chief prosecutor at The Hague.
The Office of the Prosecutor decided to open an investigation into alleged crimes against humanity committed in Libya.
Holding the Gaddafi regime to account, the International Criminal Court is now officially investigating all that has gone on over the past days and weeks. Hundreds have been killed in the uprising against the 40-year rule of Colonel Gaddafi, thousands injured. The chief prosecutor believes crimes against humanity have been committed.
The office will investigate who are the most responsible for the most serious incidents, for the most serious crimes committed in Libya.
This is just another step by the international community to put pressure on Colonel Gaddafi and Libya. The prosecutor believes his investigation can be complete in months, not years. He will then present his evidence to the judges, who'll decide if arrest warrants should be issued. And he sent a warning to the rebel groups. We're watching you too. The United Nations Security Council referred Libya to the ICC. The chief prosecutor believes there is enough evidence to dig deeper. He's highlighted several incidents and allegations of mass killings. The 15th of February in Benghazi, the 16th of February in Misrata, Al-Baida, Derna, Ajdabaya. On the 18th, again in Misrata, and the 20th in Tripoli and Al-Zawaya. Speaking to Al Jazeera, he highlighted what is under investigation.
Crime against humanity is a widespread attack against civilian population. So if you have security forces shooting civilians in a square who are doing a demonstration, this is a crime against, this could be a crime against humanity.
The prosecutor believes the rapid call to investigate marks a dramatic change, that the world will act quickly when people are being killed, and those behind it will face justice. Alan Fisher, Al Jazeera, the ICC in The Hague.
Government officials from the Netherlands are in negotiation with Libyan authorities as they try to win the release of 3 Dutch Marines. They were captured on Sunday by forces loyal to Muammar Gaddafi after they landed in the coastal city of Sirte. Dutch officials say the Marines were trying to rescue 2 Europeans who've since been handed over to the Dutch embassy in Tripoli. Libya's embassy in The Hague remains under watch by police while the government negotiates the Marines' freedom. U.S. President Barack Obama has given the Libyan leader his strongest warning to date. Obama said Gaddafi should go immediately, but he said the U.S. is still considering all options on how to proceed. Patty Culhane has more.
After more than a week of silence on Libya, U.S. President Barack Obama made it clear how he would like to see the fighting there end.
Colonel Gaddafi needs to step down from power and leave. It's time for Gaddafi to go. He must leave.
But so far the president is more focused on getting the estimated 30,000 Egyptians and other foreign nationals out of Tunisia, where they fled looking for refuge, ordering military and civilian aircraft in to fly them home. As for Libyans, Mr. Obama says he's most concerned the violence now engulfing them will turn into a prolonged stalemate.
There may be situations in which Gaddafi is hunkered down in his compound, but the economy or food distribution systems in Tripoli, for example, start deteriorating. And we're going to have to figure out how do we potentially get food in there. So there are a whole range of options, military and non-military, that we're examining.
The option the U.S. Senate has been pushing is the implementation of a no-fly zone. One influential senator dismissing military objections that it could be a challenge. This as Pentagon officials confirm they believe the Libyan Air Force is engaged in the fight.
It seems to me that we could neutralize very easily a very antiquated air defense system with old airplanes and obviously not very good pilots fairly easily, and then that would help the people who are sacrificing their very lives as we seek.
Another senator says the president should be ready to take it a step further.
I think we should be open to providing them with arms if they need it to succeed in their revolution.
Secretary of State Hillary Clinton testified that they are a long way from making any decision on a no-fly zone. President Barack Obama says he wants the ability to respond rapidly, but gave no indication that he's going to do anything soon. Patty Culhane, Al Jazeera at the White House.
6 women have been killed in Côte d'Ivoire during a rally for Alassane Ouattara, the internationally recognized winner of November's elections. Witnesses say security forces loyal to President Laurent Gbagbo gunned the women down in the northern district of Abidjan. Well, earlier my colleague Imran Garda spoke to Yusufu Bamba,